What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
And now, broadcasting from the cow capital of the West and home of the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale, it's time for Rodeo Randy on KYUS 92.3 and KMTA 1050 AM. Now, let's saddle up and ride. Here's Rodeo Randy.
Thanks again, John, and well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rodeo Randy Show. I'm Rodeo Randy, your host, broadcasting from the banks of the Yellowstone and home of the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale. In a couple of minutes, I will be talking to my very special guest, professional barrel racer and chairwoman of the Rosebud Treasure County Rodeo, Tisha Larsen. But first, just a couple of news updates. As always, our show is streamed live worldwide on 92.3 KYUS. That's right, any place in the world you can hear us. In fact, I mentioned last week my friends were down in Miami Beach on the beach and they listened to us watching the waves come in and out. Amazing, isn't it? And of course, Chappie, my production engineer, will put our show up on the YouTube channel at Rodeo Randy Show YouTube. So after our show, it'll be up there. You can listen to us again. So you can listen to the show anywhere, anyplace, anytime, 24/7. Well, here's hoping everybody had a good and enjoyable long 4th of July holiday weekend, which happens to coincide with what the PRCA and WPRA, Cowboys and Cowgirls, call Cowboy Christmas. And of course, we follow our local and area stars of the sport. First, Sage Newman, Saddle Bronc rider, of course, setting number 3 in the world with a little over $120,000 won. Haven, our 2019 world champion tie-down roper from Miles City, of course, and number 7 in the world at $70,000. And we're not going to forget the Cowgirls now either. So Shelley Midget, Haven's wife, the 2023 world champion breakaway roper, she's sitting at number 4 in the world with around $57,000. And of course, the all-time money winner in the event of barrel racing, originally from right down the road from my old stomping ground Circle, and not too far from world-famous Brockway Dairy Day Rodeo, Lisa Lockhart. Now, she's number 10 in the world with almost $58,000. And of course, with the conclusion of the Cowboy Christmas with the Calgary Stampede and the NFR Open down in Colorado Springs next week, we'll give you an update. Well, and speaking of barrel racing, my guest is a professional barrel racer from Forsyth, Montana, and in addition, like I mentioned, chairwoman of the Rosebud Treasure County Rodeo, Tisha Larsen. Well, Tisha, thanks for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And before we talk about your rodeo, July 17th and 18th in Forsyth, let's talk a little bit about you and your barrel racing. Of course, of all the thousands and thousands of girls and women who barrel race, Tisha, what does it take to become a professional barrel racer?
Oh, well, just if you have a good horse and are ready to go up and down the road to the rodeos, you can be a professional barrel racer, I guess.
It takes a lot of hard work, though, for sure. But I think I know the answer to this one, Tisha, but I've been told that there's no such thing as a bad question. But how did you become interested in barrel racing?
So I did when I was younger. I did some play days around Terry where I grew up, and then got into high school sports, so I kind of put barrel racing on the side. And then after college, I got back into it, had a good horse. I had a friend that was a professional barrel racer, and she convinced me to get my pro card. I've been running professionally ever since.
And then when's the last event that you participated in?
I was in Roundup at the 4th of July rodeo there.
And did you win any money?
I did. I ended up 7th, I believe, out of that rodeo.
Well, I'll be over there next week, so I guess the libations are going to be on you then. Now, of course, we mentioned earlier, we were talking, last couple of years, you were in Las Vegas, and you received a couple of awards, if I'm not mistaken.
We did. The last 2 years, we were voted Best Ground in Montana, in the Montana Circuit. It's the Justin Best Footing Ground Award. So we're very, very proud of that. The contestants vote for that. They voted us Best Ground the last 2 years in a row.
And what are some of your other duties, or duties as being the chairwoman of the Rosebud Treasure County Rodeo?
Mainly, I get the arena ready. We try to get as many sponsors as we can, and just try to get all the sponsors we can and get the arena ready and the fairgrounds ready for the rodeo.
And, of course, that takes a lot of volunteers.
It does,
So how many volunteers do you usually have, Tisha?
Oh, boy. I bet we have probably close to 15.
And it's probably not enough, is it?
No. But the ones that we have are great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have time being a rancher with your husband Tyler and the Larsen family raising Angus cattle there on Rosebud Creek? Do you train your own horses?
I do. I train my own. I try to get a colt about a 3 or 4 year old, and I start them and I take them out into the pasture, and they get to be a ranch horse for a year or two, and then they go to the arena and become a barrel horse. So.
Yeah. Is there a time frame that some of these barrel racing horses become average to exceptional?
Oh boy, it definitely depends on the horse. I know we try to get them running rodeos 5 or 6 year old year. So.
Well, okay, now let's talk a little rodeo here now. Of course, the Rosebud Treasure County Rodeo starts July 17th, Wednesday and Thursday night, but the fair goes to the 20th, obviously. But of course, my favorite part is the rodeo, Wednesday and Thursday, like I mentioned of all. First of all, are you going to be entered in the barrel racing?
I am. I'm actually up Thursday night in the performance. So,
Thursday?
Yeah.
All right. I got to make sure I'm there so I can I bring my cowbells and ring them for you, cheer you on?
Sure.
Security won't kick me out, will they?
No,
okay.
no.
So there are going to be a lot of talented cowboys and cowgirls participating in the rodeo Wednesday and Thursday night. And of course, the rodeo starts 7:30 Wednesday and Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
And then, of course, you want to mention who is going to be providing the stock this year for your rodeo?
We have a great stock contractor at J. They've been with us, I believe, the last 2 years, and they are, Clarky and Marlene are the best to work with. They have great stock. They have lots of their horses end up at the NFR every year. They just do a great job.
Yeah, and of course, and they're up from my neck of the woods, like I mentioned earlier. I'm a graduate of Circle High School way back when, Tisha. I don't want to tell you how old I am, but they're rodeos. They have a Brockway Dairy Day, like I mentioned. They bring horses there. Some of the cowboys, they can't stay on too long. The horses are that good, but it's fun anyway. But we have a lot of the top cowboys down in NFR win big money on J's horses over there.
Yes.
So it's excellent. We have to mention that the Rosebud Treasure County Fair is one of Montana's oldest and best county fairs. And of course, your fair has been an annual event since 1906, and that has a lot of history in the fair there.
Yes, it does.
And we can't forget to mention, of course, that they even got the Mighty Thomas Carnival for rides and games. They're going to be there also.
Yes, come out and you can get a wristband for your kids and go on lots of rides.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Well, I think I'm too old for that because I think the last time I went on I got sick on there. So anyway, let's talk a little bit too. You're a rancher. You raise Angus cattle out there on Rosebud Creek, and then tell me a little bit about your why Angus cattle are so popular.
We have a bull sale every year, fourth Monday in March. Our cattle, they do great in the country. They're great cattle.
Yeah, when I grew up, we had Herefords out there on the ranch. That tells you how old I am again, like I mentioned. Well, anyway, Tisha Larsen, professional barrel racer, chairwoman of the Rosebud Treasure County Rodeo. Thanks for coming on. We look forward to coming out there next week and watching the rodeo. And I'll be there, of course. Best of luck in your barrel racing over there. And I hope you win some more money. Maybe we can meet you down by the libation stands there.
Great. That would be great.
Well, thanks, Tisha. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for the Rodeo Randy Show. And then stay tuned next week for another edition of our show. And happy trails, everybody.